Hey everyone, my name's Tom, this is The Bunker, and today we are going to be putting brush to miniature and painting this giant gribbly from War on Terror. I'm going to be using some SlapChop to get it tabletop standard, and then we're going to add a few extra touches for just to make it that little bit extra. Roll the credits. Before we start, it would mean a massive amount to us if you would press that subscribe button. It's free for you, but it keeps me in brand new hats. Let's get on with the painting.
And as we look at this miniature, it is truly beautiful. It's 3D printed, which is, I must admit, this is the first time I've been starting to work with 3D printed miniatures. I know that's the future. And the detail on this is really cool. So I think it's going to take a SlapChop really well. So our first step is grey. We're going to give it a good colour forge standard grey covering and coat the whole miniature, and then we're going to break out the two thin coats with a Trooper White and White Star progressive dry brush. Now the approach that we take here is I sort of daub it on a bit. I know that looks ridiculous and you think, oh my god, what are you doing, Tom? But I really want the underlying colours to pop. So SlapChop, we are taking an underlying highlight and essentially shading. Over the top we will apply our colours and it will naturally pick up this gradient, and it's a really quick way of getting a really cool result. And I'm literally there just daubing over the white and then the lighter white, which is White Star in this case. So two thin coats are brilliant, by the way, so I strongly and highly recommend them. And when we're done with that, we're going to be able to hit it with shades. In my case I'm using contrast paints. You could use army painters, you know, or you could use candy coats from TT Combat, whatever you want to use. It will give you the same effect, and we just literally paint over the top. And as you can see there, it's going to accentuate, big words for us today, it's going to accentuate the highs and the lows. And once it's dry, it really does look like it's a natural effect, which is what I wanted for this miniature, because it's a giant monster at the end of the day. So I'm liberally applying all over the model, and then we're going to let it dry. I think purple and dark greens suit monsters well, don't they? And I'm covering all the juicy bits, for want of a better word. I'm covering all the juicy bits in a purple, which I think is really cool, and it sort of it contrasts well, but also matches. And yeah, there we go. So still a bit of drying to do, but there we go. It allows us to come in and do some real sort of bold colours as well. So I'm coming in with reds on all the spikes and all the bone structures and things like that. I want it to sort of stand out and be quite vivid, the army. And hopefully this is going to work, and there you go. Yellow on some of the tendrils there, which is just, again, it's a nice contrasting colour, so you've got these nasty little things coming out of the darkness. And there I am dry brushing up the base. Now literally that was 30 minutes of work. At this point we're dry brushing. We are at the stage realistically where this is done. Now that's the beauty of SlapChop right there. With a dry brush on the base and covering up a couple of areas and a bit of a wash around the edges, and all I'm doing here again is using a shade and letting the sand and the dry brush underneath it accentuate the ups and downs, and it works really well. And a bit of rust and a bit of muck on there, because at the end of the day, a bit of a wash there, it is a rubble-filled battlefield at the end of the day. And we're getting to the stage where we are done with this miniature for the first bit anyway. Neating up the edges, as we always do. I like to go around the edges with black or a colour that's worthy, I think, of the model. And there we go. That is literally it. That's your SlapChop model. You can put that down, half an hour's work. Jobs are good, and thank you very much. Now, some people like myself, we like to go to the next few steps, and that's not difficult either, guys. It's literally sort of a couple of hours, if that, and it's an enjoyable part of an evening or whatever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break out more thin coats. Two thin coats paints are brilliant, and I can't recommend them enough. We're going to use a bit of rust and then a bit of Tamiya for some of the other effects on the miniature. But I'm literally going along and thinking, that I want that to be just pop a bit more, so I'm going to do a dry brush over the top of it. Okay, I'm just going to make that highlight stand out a little bit more. I'm going around. There's all these little calluses on it, and I'm doing those like an off-white, and I want them just to really pop and stand out. And as we go around the miniature, it really just gives that sort of highlight point, that focal point where you think, Yeah, you know what? This pops a bit. I'm also doing it on the like the belly, on the underneath, and then going over the darker areas with some sort of like reds and just picking out everything. It's literally this stage is just a quick highlight, and it looks like you've done multiple layers of highlighting, but because the SlapChop down there, you're actually making it pop off a very little easy stage. And I'm just going around just highlighting up until I'm content with it, really. Tusks and gribbly bits and bellies and holes and all this sort of thing. You just go along until you're happy. And there you go. I'm just doing the yellow there on the tendrils, the feeder tendrils, to really make them sort of pop out and just make them look horrible, basically. That's the kind of the theme we're going for here. And as we go back to the base, we're going to give it another dry brush. And this is, again, it's just making it pop. It's just making it pop. I'm just going over the top with a dry brush. And as we go around, it just really makes it come to life. It's a few extra stages the day after you've done your slap chopping can really make a massive difference. And it can just make you, feel quite proud of your miniature, really. I like my rust effect. It's a real good sort of basic muck in a bottle. And you can't beat a bit of muck when there's rubble on the ground, can you? It just makes it look real. The whole thing is getting a matte varnish. Now, I'm not recommending one or the other. You use whichever one you want here, because what we're going to do is gloss varnish on all those gribbly underside bits. So when we're doing with our varnish, we're going in, this is what's going to make it look like it's alive. All bases deserve a tuft. I'm trying these tufts out just for a bit of juxtaposition against the rubble, see what it looks like. I'm also going to use some still water today. So this is a resin. Don't panic, it's dead easy. You don't have to do this stage, obviously, but all I'm going to do, I'm going to put some into a pot. There we go. And I am going to add the crustacean colour that we've used, that green, that first colour we use in the whole process. Okay, because I want to make like a goo, for want of a better word, that's coming out of the holes. So I'm going to get a good mix up, and then I'm going to liberally apply it to the underside of the miniature. Just really make it look horrible, which is the whole idea. This is also a real quick tip if you want to do like pulse and stuff like that. That's also a way like you can do it. And when we're done, we end up with something like this, which is really, really cool.
There we go, one miniature. Easy, hopefully, to follow along. SlapChop's a great technique, dead quick, dead easy. And then you can do a few little bits on it to sort of like give it that cool je ne sais quoi, cool. That really nice looking end bit. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. I hope it's been easy to follow along, and I'll be doing more painting throughout the year as we try and build up our forces, particularly for War on Terror. So, do subscribe if you want to watch us play that game. Practice in. If you want to share some things with us, drop over to our Instagram or our Discord and share away. We love to see people's paintings. You know what? It's your hobby. You get what you get out of it, and it's great to be proud of it. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and happy hobbying.